Hi, it's Peggy with the Pearl Forest, and we're back for another hashtag Play Your Hand. Today is number 8, and here is our 8 card that we made from the calendar, desk calendar. This one says, write it down. Number 8. Today is tall trivia cards. They have trivia on both sides. These ones are history, I believe. And we're also using painted papers. So let's see what we can make today. Hope everyone's having a great day. It's very hot and muggy here. Hopefully it's nice where you are. Okay, let's see. We'll just start by picking a card and a piece of paper. And I also have newsprint to put on the back, or we don't have to cover it completely with the painted paper. So maybe we should just put parts of it on here. Sorry if that's a little loud. So I guess I was going to make maybe that the writing surface and put this on the back. So maybe we'll leave a little bit of the map. Oops, we want this side. Some of the map. Do we want to have a different kind besides that? We have this other polka dot one. This has a yellow and blue, and maybe this one would be good down here at this end. So we'll put this down here. Get back up in view here. Tear some off. I also have some other map, but this one has a map. We do have a hole here, which could be for a ribbon if we wanted to make that the top, but on this one, I think we'll just make this the front. We'll try glue stick. Please leave a comment if you're enjoying this series. If you would like to have it come automatically to your inbox every day, you can subscribe and ring the bell for the notifications, or just check in when it works for you. Okay. We could wrap this around to the back and put this one on there. I have 31 days of challenges plus a few bonus ones, which should give lots of journal card ideas, or ideas you can just use in general ways with your junk journal. I'm sure that a lot of them are not new, but some of them might be. Okay, I kind of like that with the map. Like that. Let me think about that for a minute while I put some newsprint on the back for writing on. See that other people have success with the glue stick on these cards, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. I think this one might be nice as it is, and just add some images, a label or something to it. I kind of like the subtleness of the colors. Try to be online. And I know when I film, I'm the opposite direction camera-wise by a lot of people. But if you just look at the fact you're looking on the end of my table at what I'm doing, it does make it like you're just peeking in at what I'm doing. If everybody really doesn't like that, just let me know and I'll see if I can do something about it. I just don't know. Okay, so we're gonna set that one aside for now and we'll come back and add some things to it. Let's see, what else would we like to do? We could leave some of these on the front, or once again, here's some map. So this is showing Utah. Maybe we'll just leave a little bit of the map. So maybe we'll put this on here. Kind of line it up, figure out where, whoops, we moved, where we want to be, maybe like that. Okay, so we'll put this part on there. So you can see these are pretty simple. And if you don't have these long skinny trivia cards, you could just cut a piece of cardstock and make something similar, or use a different size and shape card. I'll measure this one for you in just a minute if you're trying to make one like it. These are, let me look on my trivia card thing to see what they're called, this game. Okay, I think I have one of the main cards. It's okay to be smarty, or smart it says. Oh, they're Brain Quest. So these are Brain Quest cards. They come with a metal sort of a rivety attachment at this end, which you have to somehow pry up and off in each direction, and then you're left with the hole. Like I said, I think it might be fun to do some with the hole up and tie something on, so maybe we'll do one of those. But they're called Brain Quest. And what would we like to go with this one? This is kind of cool. Has a little bit of writing and some other things. Do we want to go like that? Nice if it got a little bit of the red also. I think on this one, I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on here. Sometimes I find this easier to just figure out approximately where it is and put the glue on. Put your paper on. And then cut it off. Wonder if we could make some little label-y like things with some of this painted paper. Some of this paper I just used a paint brush to make. One of these days we'll paint paper together. So that one has ones on like that. This one has, I think, bubble wrap on here and some paint. This one had some paint brushed on. It also had pen doodles, like here's kind of a cat, some cats, and then some splotches, and then I probably rubbed a dry paste over it to get the excess off. This one I had several kinds of, paint that got brushed or smeared on or whatever, and then I used a stencil with some other paint. This one with the paper being kind of crinkly, it gets a texture. Almost looks like I have some stencils in there, but I don't see them completely. This looks like a tire track one that I have, and then this is something else. And otherwise I might have just brushed some paint on or in that way. This I know is actually a house paint on bond paper, and it was sort of brushed on but left some of it white. This is actually one of the marble paintings. And then this is a painted paper that's use a brush to kind of get some on, and once again the stencil and maybe some drops. So that are some varied ones. I have a lot of other ones. I also got out some map in case we want it. Okay, so this one needs a backing. I'm just in the process today of reclaiming my art painting room so that I can get in there and make some more painted papers and such. And maybe I'll bring you along for that when I get it to the point where I can welcome some company and be productive. And I'll show you some of my techniques. Some are jelly plate stuff that a lot of other people use. I'll show you the different texture things that I have, some of the stencils, some just other techniques, and maybe we'll even get the twirl of paint going. Right now it is not going, so we will not have that for the twirl of paint day. We'll have something else, which we'll see. Actually, that was yesterday, so we didn't have it. So you already probably know that. Here's a calendar page, and I've done some painting on it. This has the same stuff on both sides, so I'm just going to go ahead and cover it. On this one, I think I'm just going to do the whole card with one painted paper. See how that looks. Maybe this would be a good one to use the hole at the top, because it doesn't really matter on either side what's up and what's down. And I have an idea for one of these as well. That I just thought of. Not sure how a playing card fits. Let's see if I can reach one over here. Oh, they're close to the same size. I might do something with that. So that's how this one came out, with just one painted paper. We'll add some other stuff to that. And we'll put on the newsprint. As you might have heard me say before, I like to get the main part of my projects on and then go to the decorating. It's kind of like painting the walls and maybe getting the furniture in, maybe the curtains, I don't know. But we don't have all the doodads. Kind of get a chance to see how we feel about it. I think this is an interesting size and shape. They're kind of almost like a bookmark. They could be used as a tag if you wanted to make a tag top, but I'm using them as the hashtag Play Your Hand journal cards. So there we have this one. We'll come back to that one in a minute. Okay, what if we do one of these with the map? It's also just on both sides. And then we'll do some more miscellaneous ones. Actually, would have been fun to do some Stack-A-Whack. Let's see, if we want to put a hole at the top again,
we want this to be up at the top. And to avoid the holes, although we're going to get some white border, but we can distress that or figure out something. So get that on nice and tight. Depending on what all you do to your card, this can go very quickly. Okay, let's see. Oops, got this stuck on here. Are any of you like to go out in nature or grow anything? My yard seems to be growing itself this year, largely blackberries, but I happen to have a mystery squash plant. That one's kind of interesting, actually, that's growing. I think that I've figured out that it's a squash plant, but we'll see. Maybe I'll share some pictures sometime of it. I should probably put one on my Instagram account. We can see it as it grows. There were like 11 plants that came up after my other stuff died, and there was compost in my garden bed. And then they all died except for one. And so then I didn't know if that would survive or not. But now it is huge, and it is bigger than the entire raised bed, which is 2 by 6. It's sprawling out on the lawn and in every direction. And it has at least 30 plants. Many of them are all well under the way of growing into full-grown squash, but they are not in their right final color yet, so they're still growing. So we'll have to see how that comes out. So here's one with the map, and I think I turned that over and put the side on there that I did not mean to, but that's what we got. How about we try this painted one and glue it on. Okay, I didn't do the stack and whack, but that is certainly something you could do for one of these. You could Google that. I know Gail Augustinelli did it, but I know other people started it. Eventually I'll share that if you want, but if you don't want to wait, you could go looking at some other people's videos and you can see how to do a stack and rack. And that's a fun way, and it would be good for any of these size journal cards. So this is house paint. I think this was one of our rooms in our previous house. Okay, so these all have their back, so you can write on them. I wish I could actually talk with you if you wanted to share suggestions of how we might do some of these. That would be a lot of fun. Maybe sometime we can do a retreat or workshop together. Would that be fun? I think so. Here's an interesting piece. Kind of colors I think that looks nice with this. Well, maybe we could might be too big. We could cut out that, or there's this other one that has that stamp too. I don't know if there's too many colors. We can pull it together. There's that painted paper. I just have a very limited palette with me. This is Age Wild. That's too many colors. Oh, I know. I pulled out some coffee dyed paper. What if we just go across? And then we tie it together with some fussy cut images. So we'll put this one up here, painted paper. We can wrap it around a little bit. Put this one in the middle. We'll find something like a butterfly or flower or something that pulls it all together. If this goes off the edge a little bit, I'll just trim it up. Not sure what all this says, but it'll be partly covered up, so. I know it's kind of like that, but the 3 part is nice. And if we get out, well, I have some animals, but I don't know if they're skinny enough. This cat isn't skinny enough. Almost looks like he's made a mess down here. Could also go, whoa, could also go this way. Still looks like he's kind of gone on the carpet, so I don't know. We have this puppy. Maybe he's just seated down there. And that's like a tapestry or something. I kind of like that. I can find some words to go with it. Does pick up the orange. Let's look and see. I pull out the butterflies too, but seems like butterflies and flowers win out most of the time. It's kind of fun to put some animals into, or other things. So if you don't have trivia cards, you can cut cardstock. I need to give you the measurement, don't I? So there's that cat. If we wanted to do that. Can't decide. I kind of like him. Okay, well these cards are, let's see, they're 2 3/8 by 7 1/4 approximately. Let's put this guy on. Maybe he needs a little something more through there that ties in. We will tear something that goes across near his collar. I think I like that. Okay. Now when you go to do your journal, and if you wanted to use this card, you could use some of the ephemera that matches your journal. It might be a word or a tag, a label or something, or another little piece of ephemera that might go with it. Okay, go wrap that, whoops, well, it's gonna wrap that around, but it just tore off. So I guess we'll trim those. Okay, so it's kind of different, but we'll put that aside for now. This one we're gonna punch the hole, where the hole was. There's the hole. Where did I put my hole punch? I think it's in here. Not seeing it. Okay, we're gonna do it the by hand method. I'm just eyeballing the center of the circle and go both directions. Now I want to make it a little bigger. And then we want maybe to take just an emery board. To make the hole. Do we have any string handy? Now I do. Here's a large piece, which is too wide, but I don't think these scissors like fabric. Give it an angle. And probably just half this wide, so if I can get it started, we'll just tear it. We'll take the one that's white rather than the one with blue. Now we haven't decorated the rest of it, but let's go ahead and put our tie on. Be a fun little tassel. Let's see if I can get it through this hole. There we go. Oops, almost out the other side. So if you put the fold in the hole, I'm not sure if I'm coming from the correct side, so we'll try this. And you make a loop with your tags hanging out here. I'm gonna try to get my tags about the same length. Then you poke those through the loop and get it up at the top here. And then it will tie a knot, and you'll have a tag. I think that's the side that I would have wanted. So even though it's in the corner, it's kind of a fun tag. So what would we like to put on this? Let's see. We have, those are animals also. Some birds. These are regular fussy cut scissors. We have orange here. Sorry for this big mess. Something that's too big. It's the thing with the tag, you want something long and tall. Unless you turn your tag the other direction. Ooh, look at that. That's a pretty good fit. Let's go with that. Okay, we'll just quickly fussy cut this out. Move those out of our way. Better stick my pin and lid in. Well, here it is. Maybe I lost it. Sometimes if I stick my finger up a little bit, it can help guide it into the hole. Really needs a bigger pin than that. But I've misplaced my big one. And I've been having problems. You're supposed to use stainless steel ones. I don't know if other people have this problem. I've purchased what I thought were stainless steel, only to have them rust. And using some of my sewing pins, quilting pins that I have around my house, in pulling it on and off, I've actually pulled the little bead head off the pin. And then I've tried to use needle nose pliers to make a little curved, twirled, bent wire thing to pull it up, or to pull it back out because it's stuck. Tried a number of different things, but I've just not had really good luck with the pins. They're supposed to be stainless steel and sturdy. They haven't always been. So right now I have a small pin in there, but it's working for the moment. Okay, so come back in here. I don't think we can keep the tongue. Sorry, little bird. Just gonna keep your beak. It's a little too fussy for me for fussy cutting. And we can trim in here. This is a digital, but I'm not sure where I purchased it. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get in there and get all of that out. I think this must be a stick here, and there's a foot here and a foot there. I was trying to figure out if that was their feet. It's quite unusual feet. I find it's not that noticeable if you just distress inside where the white is. Let's see, we can use this envelope here. So around the edges, a little bit where the white still shows, but then especially right in here, and maybe even on that stick, because I think the stick is kind of a strange color. There. Plus it kind of blends more with the space in between. Okay. So here's our writing surface. So if we put this on here, we'll just put them like that. So this one I think would be kind of nice with some music. Birdie is singing. So if we tear a piece. Let's see, by the time we go in there, probably about here. I can use the jaggy side. Okay. Tear this off. I don't know if you can see that this has, I don't know where it would show up the most. It has a little zigzaggy edge there and then basically a straight edge on that side. So I don't really want to cover all this up, but is this too much? Ruler. Maybe just a tad less. And then we'll just stress around this edge with I'm using Vintage Photo today with this brush applicator again. I still haven't found all the pieces together. Someday you'll just have to see if you're the first one that notices the correct piece has returned. But I'm making great progress going through my stuff and getting rid and sharing, and I'm looking forward to a time when all my stuff will fit in my craft room and I will know where it is and I will have what I need, but not an abundance of extra. That's upside down. Okay, so we'll kind of just center this, I think, on here. No. Why is this right side up? Oh, the bottom line sometimes is, no, it looks upside down. This looks upside down, but this looks right side up. Or should it have gone this way? You know, I think it should go the other way, but I think it's on now. So we're staying with it. It's one that's tricky because some of the notes are going one way and some are going another, and I haven't remember seeing that in a music sheet before. Let's see, do we want it down lower? Do we want it in the middle? Higher? Kind of think down lower. Maybe like somewhere in there. And maybe with the corner rounder, we'll do a medium corner. With this corner is medium anyway. Hopefully that's not in the way of this. We'll loosen it up to tuck it out of the way. Hopefully. No. I'm going to have to put it back on because it's in the way. It doesn't interfere with the hole, but the piece of fabric edge is in the way of the paper punch. There we go. So when it goes in a journal, you can add a label, a word, something that fits. But there's that one. There's that one. Okay, so we have these three. These are pieced together, and that's the right side up. So what would we like to see on those? got this doggy. Maybe he travels. He's kind of cute on there. I also have these pink birds. Little pink butterfly. I have this one, which would be a very neutral looking one, or this kind of like that one. This one could perch near the edge. I think I still like that one. Okay. I gotta refill these with my fussy cuts around the room, so I have them handy. I have a little shelf next to me that makes it really nice to get them in. Okay, let's see. I have some plants also, like this one I think needs something else. I need to fussy cut his feet. This is always tricky. Sometimes when you hold both sides, that helps, but it definitely helps to go in from one side and then cut as far as is comfortable or to a corner, and then come back from the other side to cut it out the rest of the way. Did I get that? Doesn't look like I got all the way to the corner. And you know, it's not the end of the world if you cut part of it off that you don't want to be off, because you're just about to glue it down, which is why you save this little bit for when you're just ready to glue, because it's easy to keep track of it and to get your piece back together, glued on. Whoops, I just lost one of his toes, or her toes, or I think that's the toe right there. So see, here's a case of we'll try to glue that back on. Oops. My better fussy cut scissors are not located yet either. I like the Cutter Bee and some other ones like that. Interestingly enough, the kids' Fiskars are pretty good. I find they're pretty sharp. You wouldn't think they might be, but these are, it's academic. They're pretty good. Probably bought them during a back to school time. If you don't have kids, you might not know that back to school time is the best time to buy a lot of lunch or school supplies, like if you use spiral notebooks, whoops, don't want to lose that leg, or notebook paper or glue or scissors or a lunch bag. Those are when you can find those on a good price. I wonder if we want him to stand, sorry, I got distracted, stand up here on one of the edges of the states, maybe in the corner of Wyoming. I think his foot went out that way. You just want to have something they can stand on. I want to put some kind of plant down there, so I'm going to go ahead and be daring and just put this up above. I think this might have dried a little bit. It's not coming out real good. Good to prime the pump before a video. did not think to do that. Okay, so if we stand in, what did I say, in the corner of Wyoming? It's gonna lose a little beak and the tip of the tail. Yeah, don't look nervous. I know that sounded quite scary. We'll make it as painless as possible. Like, see, this toe came off and it's going back. Hopefully, in the right place. That's not the toe, this is. I was gonna say that was white on both sides. All right, if I can get a hold of this. This is where tweezers coming in would be handy. I'm pretty sure this was up higher. Don't have tweezers here. Oops. I think that might be backwards. Oops, come on. Before long, that just might be where it goes. Whoops, now I broke this part of it. Okay, well, we'll just pretend that he's standing with his toes lined together because he just lost that. I know, I promised you that wouldn't happen, but sorry, guy. I'll look for a flower in just a minute. This one, we don't want very much of that leash, so let's get that off. And fussy cut up next of little puppy here. And this is torn a little bit, so we have to be careful. But if we hold each side, it's a little sturdier. No promises. We already know that because I cut the poor little birdie's toe off. And then shredded it while I tried to glue it back on. Okay, so nice pretty jewelry on the back of the pup. This puppy is from a catalog of some kind, or magazine, I don't know which, probably catalog. The bird is a digital. Okay, wanted to see some of that map. That's kind of an indistinct area back there, so we'll put that off the edge. Isn't he so cute? His leash off the edge. Maybe he's going on a trip somewhere. Traveling to Idaho and Wyoming, maybe. Okay, trim these off. Then we have this one with another fussy cut delicate thing. Antennas are really, really difficult to keep. I think I'm going to take these off. They're really so slender. If we want, we can draw them back with a pen, which I think we might want to because this guy looks like he needs some. And I probably should have distressed around the edges, but I did not. Hope I'm not getting glue on my thing here. So there's kind of some red scribbles on here, so I think I'm going to just put this down a little bit. At least mostly covering that up. This definitely needs something up there. All right, so what have we got? Let's see. We do have some, these are like little bits of color. That's not helpful. some animals. We have a gold border of a label, but not a label. Not those. We have some little tiny words. We have those. Where are my flowers? Butterflies. Too bad she wasn't on there underhand. That would have been cool. We have little tiny butterflies. We have some little birds. Lots of different colors. But I don't think they really go with this. These are some big images. For the most part, we have, we have an owl. Kind of make it nighttime. We have this owl. We have some other butterflies. Let's see if we have flower that can go below this bird. I think that's too big. Now we have a yellow butterfly. No, I don't think so. Do you ever watch anyone else's video and when they go, no, I don't think so, and you're like, but wait, I like that. Or how about this one? No, I don't think that works. Yeah, I think that will be perfect. So we have different eye for things. That one's pretty. I could take just part of the flowers and use them. If that's too big. Maybe I should have put something under this bird before I put him on there. But shoulda doesn't help. Okay, do we want that or we want the dark? I kind of think the dark. And I kind of think, maybe if we just tear this, that, and then maybe even cut that over there, and we can save that for another time. Doesn't leave much in the way of stem, but it could just go maybe right along that edge. That might be good. Let's try that. So we'll do a quick trim. And I don't mind if I leave a little white because I'm going to distress the edge and make it sort of blend in more with the background. I think a lot of these things that I've been making lately really could use some labels. Like I said, I need to find some or make some. What have we here? Sometimes your scissors will get magnetized and pick things up like pins. That should be in my glue. But that's kind of something to think about, that if you can't find your pin to go in your glue, maybe you could take your scissors and swoop over your desk and find it. And then put it back in the glue before it dries out. So that can be handy. I'm not sure how they get magnetized. Okay, so put some Distress Vintage Photo around the edge. It's kind of fun doing this on something that you can maybe use later. Makes interesting patterns. Okay, not you, puppy, this one. So if we just put it, yeah, along the edge of that. Now I'm off the edge, but I'm just smearing glue on. Back up here, put this on here, maybe not quite so much so we don't lose quite so much of the flower. And you still have room for something here or something up there would be nice. I think that's good. Maybe we'll trim this one with some rounded corners too. And I really think I would just keep this one as it is. I just think he's so cute as the focus. You could add a label later if you happen to know where your labels are. So I did those corners. This is an extra picture. Oops. On one of these corner rounders, I learned that you do have to get them in there straight, and that's why you'll see a lot of people do them upside down, because you can actually see if you're in the corner. Whereas if you do it from the top, you could be crooked and not know it, and you'll just have to fix it in some way later. Okay, well, this needs something. I don't know if another one of these or a little bit of that. That's kind of pretty. Although this kind of picks up the blue. So kind of like that one. Yellow. I think I like that he's going the other way also. Flower. No, I like the bird. I think I'm going to go with the bird. These are also from a digital. So, let's see. We'll distress the edges. It seems, whoops, so plain though. Wonder if we want something up there. Maybe a little bit of music. Let's just do that. Oh, I like this one with the treble clef. Let's try that. So this is here. You could stick that under there. Oops. Oops, everybody's falling over. So when you guys work, do you have some way to maintain all your little tiny garbage scraps? Do they wander all over the place? I have a trash can, but mine don't always get in there. So then sometimes, I think that's too bright. Sometimes they're just on the floor. How about this one? I kind of think I like it on the bottom. It's kind of just evenly matchy, but at the same time, it's a little different by bringing it all the way to the bottom. You can see a little bit of the scallopy edge there. And by the way, if you don't think you can successfully use your scissors to get around the corner of these cards, whether they're playing cards or a card you've rounded or it comes rounded, feel free to use your corner punch again and punch it out. Okay, I think we have made 5 cards. So we have finished our hand of cards for today. Our tall trivia cards, they have writing surfaces on the back on all of them. This one is still sticking out over the edge there. And there's that. So let's look at them. This is hashtag Play Your Hand, August 2024, from the Pearl Forest Challenge. This is day 8, and this is the little day 8 card I made. Here, I'm going to turn them this way so you can see them easier. Here's one of our tall tags. Here's the one with our tie. Here's one with our dog. He still looks concerned about that bird. Here's another dog. And this more neutral looking one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hashtag Play Your Hand, 5 journal cards. Thank you for joining me. Come back tomorrow and see what we make then. Bye. Have a good day.